to a movement meetup. It's Leah and I are here. This is my daughter. Okay, so what Leah and I were thinking of doing today was we'll go through pace, and then I have a couple of movements chosen, or we might do something completely different. We'll see how we're doing. So Leah and I left the house like 40 minutes ago to come here to our office, and I got stuck in line at the post office, and we just literally ran in here like 1 minute ago. So we really could use some pace so that we get positive, active, clear, and energetic. And for me, that means bringing my energy down because I'm a little stressed. So we're going to start with water. If you have water with you, have a sip of water. And then the next thing we're going to do is brain buttons. So one hand on our belly button, our other hand right under our collarbone. And then when we are at these two places at the top and bottom of our body, we're going to move our eyes side to side, like we're reading a book. So we go way out to one side and the other side. And return and breathe and blink. And then when you're ready, we're going to switch hands. All right, now we want to get active, and so we're going to do the cross crawl. So Charlie has this little girl there. She can crawl around on the floor. Charlie can crawl with her and chase her. Leah, my daughter, cannot crawl because of her cast, and so we will do this standing. You think you can go behind?
Maybe.
So you'll notice that we're using both of our shoulders and we're using our hips, so we're getting that internal X in our body. And then just to play with it, see if you can go behind. And that gives you a different stretch along your spine, some different awareness of what's going on back there. You can always put music on and do this to a whole song, and you could even get creative and do some things to the front and the back and the side to the beat. All right, so we want to end by getting positive, and that's with the activity that we call hookups. And so we're going to cross our ankles and put our thumbs down, cross, clap, down and up. And Leah's just going to cross her arms because of her broken fifth metacarpal. And breathe. When that feels complete, you're going to uncross your ankles and just touch your fingertips together. I know we have some piano players that come on, and so one thing you can do with your fingertips is you could do one finger at a time for some finger dexterity if you'd like. So different possibilities, ways to play with this. It doesn't have to be the same every day. It can change, and it can help us to get positive, active, clear, and energetic. And then check in and notice, how do you feel now versus 3 minutes ago? What's the same and what's different? I can tell that my voice, the tone of my voice lowered and it slowed down. And that's what pace does for us. Leah and I, as we were driving up the road, as fast as we could, we were discussing which brain gym movements we might want to do today, and she said positive points. And I know that we have people from France here, Wisconsin in the United States and the bordering state. I'm in Minnesota. And so wherever we are in the world, we're in this really unique place of living right now that can be a little bit unsettling at times. So Leah said positive points would be great today. And I agree. I had a rough week. Wednesday and Thursday, I was kind of down in the dumps. So positive points, your fingertips go right above your eyes, just lightly resting on your forehead. You can notice if you are aware of a little pulse underneath each set of fingers. Do you have a little cranial pulse up there above each eye? Oh, that is very nice. That was a good idea. Thank you. Do you have anything else in your mind that you're thinking of? All right, so Leah's good. I was thinking of doing something for the eyes today because I know for me, I'm spending a lot of time on my screen. I'm working a lot for the Brain Gym Foundation. I teach 2 classes in the spring for the university, and they've been on hold for 2 weeks, and they both start on Monday. And so I've been adjusting all the due dates and all the assignments. I teach a high school class. We tried meeting online yesterday. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. So my eyes are really tired of looking at this green dot and at the screen. So one thing we can do is what's called a lazy 8. And so here I have this wonderful track that looks like a number 8 and it's lazy. So we're just going to flip it on its side. And actually you each have this wonderful shape right on your face. So right here around the eyes. So when I teach this, I like to have us start on our face. Have you washed your hands lately? So my hands are clean. So I'm going to start right here at the bridge of my nose and I'm going to trace up and around one eye. Come back to my nose and trace up around my other eye. Kind of like a raccoon. And do that a couple of times. You can let your eyes relax. And then we're going to take our hand away from our face, so out in front of us, and we're going to make the same shape out here in front of us. So we're going to take our hand that we've chosen and we're going to go straight up and over to the left. And then come back up in the middle and then make a circle up and over to the right. So that's a lazy 8 shape. Now this is an eye activity. So when you do it the next time, your eyes are going to follow your thumb. So here we go. Up and around to the left. I'm looking at my thumb. Up in the middle and around to the right. That was the preview and the review. Let's do a third time. Got it. Up and around to the left. Up and around to the right. And then give your eyes a moment to rest. And if you're working with someone in your house right now and they're going down and down and down, don't panic. Maybe they need to find the ground today or find the earth. And so we just notice what someone's doing and if it matches our instructions or doesn't. So I bet most of you took your dominant hand to do that, the one that does the writing and the drawing and the eating. So now let's use the other hand. We're going to make the same shape. How's that going to work for you? All right. So we're going to see what happens. We're going up and around to the left. And up the middle and around to the right. And here's our review. Up and around to the left. Look at your thumb. Breathe up and around to the right. One more, forgot it. Up and around to the left. Up and around to the right. Nice job. I like to do this one a third time with both my hands together. I like to make an X with my thumbs. And this time, when I'm watching my thumbs, I like to be aware of my back muscles and what's going on along my spine. So here we go. Up the middle and around to the left. Up the middle and around to the right. Ooh, that feels good on my back. Here's our review. Up, around to the left. Up and around to the right. And let's do a got it. Up, breathing and blinking. Up, breathing and blinking. Really nice after working with your eyes. So after reading or using the computer to get your hands nice and warm and just hold them over your eyes. So Leah, you could do this on your pants with one hand and then hold it over both eyes. And then if you have a little person there, of course, you could play peekaboo with one eye. And then you could play peekaboo with the other eye. Lots of ways to be playful. Some of these last couple of activities come from the vision work that we call windows or positive point palming, different activities to allow our eyes to rest because they work so hard. All right. So I think that it's our 15 minutes are up. I would just like to end with one more thing, and it comes out of our adenosine laterality repatterning work. I would just like to pull in the integration metaphor. And so this activity is really kind of in your mind, but what we do with our physical being and our body is we imagine half our brain in one hand. And then we imagine the other half of our brain in the other hand. We look at those two halves and we just see if we can allow them to come together so that we have access to our whole brain as we're going through this world right now at the end of March in 2020. And do we have access to the parts and the details? And can we still see the big picture and where we fit in this world? So these are some strategies that you might find really helpful to use here in the next couple of weeks or month as we're going through this. PACE, we did some positive points, lazy eights to help our eyes, some palming, and then we just did a little peekaboo. And we ended with the two sides coming together. So I really thank you for joining us today for this movement meetup from all over the world. This is just so exciting.